because he continues to lie to the world about what I said and who I was pointing the finger at.
Like, never even cashed a check still. I have $100 million that I never even cashed before. I have a tax attorney that takes care of everything, and everything is okay.
No, I'm not with you. Yeah, we're taking him to court.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So
Yeah, see you in the courtroom. Congrats, you're going to prison, Floyd.
In a shocking development, reports claim that Floyd Mayweather Jr. could be facing serious legal trouble after alleged financial documents were revealed during a live broadcast by analyst Stephen A. Smith on ESPN. According to the claims, the documents suggest Mayweather may be connected to a $42 million financial scandal, with rumors circulating that federal authorities are investigating the situation and may have issued an arrest warrant. Smith stated that the evidence could be only the beginning of a much larger story, reigniting criticism about Mayweather's extravagant lifestyle and spending habits. While the reports remain unconfirmed, the allegations have already sparked intense reactions from fans and critics, with many questioning whether the legendary boxer's powerful empire could now be facing its biggest crisis yet.
Mayweather has had for not paying.
Floyd Mayweather Jr. has frequently faced public speculation regarding his legal and financial matters. At one point, he revealed that his lawyers had advised him to remain silent about certain issues, assuring him they would manage everything behind the scenes. Despite this guidance, Mayweather made it clear that his passion for wealth and luxury had not faded. He openly spoke about still wanting the private jets, mansions, and extravagant lifestyle he had long enjoyed. His comments suggested that while his legal team focused on resolving disputes, his personal priority remained protecting and expanding his fortune. By keeping financial details private while continuing to display his lavish lifestyle, Mayweather projected the image of someone determined to maintain his status and success. Even as rumors and controversies surrounded him, he appeared focused on preserving the wealth and luxury that became central to his identity throughout his career.
Still got my private jets. I still have all my beautiful homes, still have all my properties everywhere, and still making millions every month.
So you didn't take this fight because you needed the money?
Actually, I didn't even want this. The fans demanded this fight. You know, at one particular time, and of course, with this fight, of course, I do want to make a ton.
Stephen A. Smith has often been outspoken about his admiration for Floyd Mayweather Jr., regularly praising the legendary boxer's remarkable legacy. He highlights Mayweather's ability to remain undefeated throughout the latter part of his career, crediting his discipline, elite defensive skills, and technical brilliance inside the ring. According to Smith, Mayweather was not just focused on winning fights but on mastering the art of avoiding defeat, combining intelligence, strategy, and precision to control every moment of a bout. Smith believes Mayweather's greatness goes far beyond statistics, emphasizing that his mindset, ring IQ, and ability to dictate the pace of fights made him one of the most dominant fighters in boxing history. In Smith's view, Mayweather set a standard of excellence that future fighters will continue to chase, making his legacy one of the most respected and influential in the sport.
Was undefeated for the last half of his career with one hand. He constantly broke his hand.
Yeah.
He would go into a ring knowing he had no shot at knocking somebody out because his hands were hurt too much, and literally walked in the ring and said, I'm gonna embarrass you and humiliate you by showing the world you can't hit me.
Stephen A. Smith became increasingly critical of Floyd Mayweather Jr. after the legendary boxer began participating in exhibition bouts following his retirement. While Mayweather had long been praised for his undefeated record and dominance in professional boxing, the shift toward spectacle fights began to change that perception. His exhibition match against Logan Paul drew widespread backlash, with many analysts questioning its competitive value. Smith argued that the bout lacked legitimacy because Paul, primarily known as a social media personality rather than a seasoned boxer, posed little real threat to Mayweather. According to Smith, the event appeared to be driven more by financial gain than by sporting excellence. For a fighter who had built a reputation on defeating elite champions and maintaining a perfect record, the exhibition felt like a step away from the competitive standards that had defined his career. Critics believed the fight lacked the intensity and high stakes that once made Mayweather's bouts must-watch events. Smith suggested that while Mayweather's legacy as one of the greatest boxers ever is secure, continuing to participate in such exhibitions risks shifting the focus from his historic achievements to the perception that he is simply chasing another payday.
Boxers, if not the greatest boxer in history. He's absolutely sensational. But he retired years ago, and for me personally, I know these exhibition matches are entertaining. I like the one with Conor McGregor.
Not so much the one with Logan Paul. Looking at these exhibitions and all of that stuff, that little melee and stuff don't matter to me. As far as I'm concerned, it could have potentially been orchestrated. I don't know. But I do know not just anybody should be allowed to be in the ring with Floyd Money Mayweather.
Absolutely.
Stephen A. Smith did not limit his criticism to just the exhibition bout between Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Logan Paul. He repeatedly raised concerns about Mayweather's overall strategy of taking part in exhibition fights after retirement. While Smith acknowledged that the crossover fight with Conor McGregor had some competitive credibility because McGregor came from a combat sports background, he believed many of the later exhibitions lacked real sporting value. In Smith's view, the issue was not that Mayweather continued to fight, but that he often chose opponents far below his level simply for financial gain. According to Smith, this approach risked damaging the reputation Mayweather had built over decades as one of boxing's most dominant champions. He argued that the undefeated star, once admired for taking on elite competition and mastering the sport, was now being perceived by some fans as prioritizing easy money over meaningful competition. Smith warned that if this pattern continued, the narrative around Mayweather could slowly shift, from celebrating his historic achievements to questioning the choices he made after retirement. For Smith, the concern was simple. By focusing too heavily on financial opportunities, Mayweather might unintentionally place the legacy he worked so hard to build in jeopardy.
Here's what I do know, which is where my disappointment comes from. When you are as great as Floyd Money Mayweather, everybody doesn't deserve to be in your space. I know you like to make money. You're never going to stop making money. Very, very few people on the planet know how to make money like you know how to make money. But some of this stuff has got to stop. You want to get Conor McGregor in the ring for an exhibition match? All right, that's fine. You know, Conor sold that. It was great marketing. He's not a boxer, but hey, he was a knockout artist in the UFC. I get it.
The turning point in the post-retirement career of Floyd Mayweather Jr. became clear when he explained why he chose to fight Logan Paul instead of a major boxing name like Tyson Fury. Mayweather openly stated that Paul had more social media followers, implying that popularity and online reach were bigger factors than boxing credibility. That explanation immediately raised eyebrows across the sports world. Analysts such as Stephen A. Smith interpreted the comment as evidence that Mayweather's priorities had shifted dramatically after retirement. Instead of seeking challenges that could enhance his legacy, he appeared to be targeting opportunities that guaranteed massive attention and financial rewards. For many critics, the decision symbolized a major departure from the competitive spirit that defined Mayweather's legendary career. Fighting a YouTuber with limited boxing experience rather than an elite professional suggested that entertainment value and profit had begun to outweigh sporting merit. Smith and other commentators argued that this approach risked reshaping public perception of Mayweather. A fighter once celebrated for discipline, strategy, and dominance in the ring was now being questioned for choosing spectacle over serious competition. In their view, the moment Mayweather justified the fight by citing social media numbers marked a clear shift, from chasing boxing greatness to capitalizing on fame and financial opportunity.
Why fight Logan Paul?
Name another boxer besides myself that's more famous than Logan Paul.
Tyson Fury?
What? I want you to look up Tyson Fury, how many followers, and look up how many followers Logan Paul has.
Logan Paul, 56 million. Tyson Fury, 4 million.
So 50 compared to 4 something. I can fight a fighter right now, guarantee myself 35 million. Or me and Logan Paul can go out and entertain and have fun and make 100 million or more. So if you were me, you gotta look at 35 million for 12 rounds and 100 for 6 rounds. Big deal.
At one time, Floyd Mayweather Jr. was the highest-paid athlete in the world across all sports, a status earned not only through his dominance in the ring but also through smart business decisions and lucrative promotions. However, recent rumors and reports about his finances have begun to raise questions about whether his wealth is as secure as it once appeared. The boxer who proudly showcased his luxurious lifestyle and flawless financial strategy is now facing growing scrutiny, with critics wondering if the image of endless riches is truly built on solid financial ground or if it hides deeper problems. As these discussions continue, they are starting to cast doubt on the legacy of a fighter once admired not only for his undefeated record, but also for his supposed financial brilliance.
Floyd Mayweather, the highest paid athlete, not the highest paid boxer, the highest paid athlete in the world. I had the opportunity and pleasure to be around him for many years. I was his personal shopper. I was a personal friend of his family. One of my greatest memories of being just lucky enough to even be around that environment was watching him train. Watching Floyd Mayweather train is a masterclass in discipline. It is a masterclass in work ethic. It is a masterclass in this is how you execute and get stuff done. Every rep, he hits it hard. There's not one lazy rep. He does everything at such a high frequency, so elevated. I'm like, goodness gracious, watching this man train, it's like, that's how I want to train for life. I've been to the club with Floyd where we leave in the club 3, 4 in the morning and he's still going to hit his 6 miles. He'll have all the cars follow him and he's running down the Las Vegas Strip, down back.
Logan Paul has publicly claimed that he may take Floyd Mayweather Jr. to court over unpaid earnings from their June 2021 exhibition boxing match. Paul alleges that he is still owed between $1 million and $3 million from the pay-per-view revenue generated by the fight and says the payment was withheld by Mayweather's team. In a 2022 interview with TMZ Sports, Paul expressed frustration and confirmed that he was considering legal action to recover the money he believes he is owed. Mayweather, however, has strongly denied these accusations, insisting that Paul has already been fully paid for the bout. The disagreement revolves around how the event's earnings were distributed, with Paul accusing Mayweather's side of mishandling the funds and not honoring their financial agreement. While Mayweather has argued that delayed payments are common in the boxing business and sometimes take time to process, Paul remains determined to pursue legal options, turning the situation into a public dispute that highlights the complicated financial arrangements often involved in major exhibition fights.
Is that something that you can't disclose right now?
He has not paid me in full. That is a fact.
No
Short
way.
a few mil, yeah.
Wow. Still a few mil.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Have you been in contact with him?
Nah, we're taking this one to court.
No, are you being serious? Is this like a...
Do I look serious, lady?
You do. I'm just making sure. I apologize.
Really?
I'm just...
Nah, I'm not you. Yeah, we're taking him to court.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So,
Yeah, see you in the courtroom. Congrats, you're going to prison, Floyd.
Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s relationship with the law has always been complex, and his financial success hasn't protected him from legal troubles. Over the years, he has faced multiple legal issues, including serving time in jail for various offenses. Despite amassing immense wealth, Mayweather has admitted feeling a lack of personal freedom, highlighting the hidden costs of fame and fortune. His legal struggles often appear tied to his financial decisions and extravagant lifestyle, ranging from disputes over unpaid debts to allegations connected to his high-profile spending habits. These issues have followed him throughout his career, casting a shadow over even his most celebrated achievements in the ring. While Mayweather's ability to generate wealth is remarkable, it has brought challenges and consequences that cannot be ignored, revealing the often unseen burdens of his life and underscoring that his path, though legendary in boxing, has been far from smooth.
You know, I had 3 children with a young lady. We wasn't seeing eye to eye, you know, we wasn't seeing eye to eye. You know, she was a little upset, had a little alcohol in her system. She was a little edgy, and I told her, you know, basically I needed the keys to my truck. She was upset. She didn't want me to take the keys to the truck. So things got out of hand and blown out of, you know, they blow things up bigger than what things are really made out to be. So things happen.
But nevertheless, you had to do 2 months, right?
Yeah, I did 2 months for a misdemeanor, yes.
So what is it like to have everything and then not have freedom?
That's what I come to find out. Freedom is very important. Freedom is very, very important. And I'm just, you know, I'm happy to be free. I'm happy to be back, you know, in my children's life.
Rapper 50 Cent has shared his side of events regarding Floyd Mayweather Jr., revealing his involvement during a difficult period in Floyd's life. While Mayweather was incarcerated, 50 Cent claims he managed Mayweather Promotions, investing millions to keep the company running. Upon Floyd's release, 50 Cent alleges that Mayweather failed to acknowledge his support or repay the funds invested, highlighting tensions in Floyd's financial and personal relationships. Mayweather, however, stated that he never requested 50 Cent to manage the company, reinforcing a narrative of prioritizing personal interests over loyalty or obligations. This episode underscores a recurring pattern in Mayweather's career, where his focus on self-preservation and financial gain appears to outweigh relationships, leaving behind strained partnerships and complicating his legacy both inside and outside the ring.
Anybody who knows Floyd knows he doesn't want to be alone. So in that situation, like, I was concerned about him because, like, I went to visit him more than anyone else that he would call a friend would actually visit him. And it's because I knew that he, like this, he'll buy stuff for you to keep you around. His temperament, there's no balance. Like, he can do anything and they still stay there because it's like they're waiting.
Yes, man.
Adding more fuel to the fire, former UFC fighter and analyst Chael Sonnen exposed an uncomfortable truth about the Mayweather versus Conor McGregor fight, claiming it was not as financially successful as advertised. Sonnen alleged that many arena seats were deliberately left empty and filled with people dressed to create the illusion of a sold-out crowd. Having covered the fight live, he criticized Mayweather's PR team for prioritizing image over reality, even recounting how he personally saw the empty seats when his mother attended. Despite the spectacle being promoted as record-breaking, Sonnen revealed that the live audience numbers did not match the hype, highlighting how sports promotion can manipulate perception. Nevertheless, the fight's record-setting pay-per-view numbers are still celebrated, even though the on-the-ground reality painted a very different picture.
You can trust the news. There's no such thing as fake. I'm working for ESPN. We're broadcasting the Mayweather-McGregor fight live. And to this day, they will tell you that's a record. That's the biggest fight ever. That thing was sold out. That place was, people were dressed up as empty seats. And I mean thousands of people.
No.
I bought my mother's ticket that day. That day, my mother decides that she wants to go to the fight. So I'm in there and I'm telling the world that this place is sold out because that's what's on the screen. And I go, it's not even close. Yeah. This isn't like, it's pretty much full. This isn't, there's thousands of empty seats. That was the first time that in my own life I ever just, wow, fake news is real.
Wow.
And then Mayweather and McGregor, they wanted a rematch. They were begging. They were doing more media trying to get a rematch than they did leading into the first match. And the guys that wrote the checks.
But why didn't it sell out? I mean, it's such two big draws. They promoted it so well.
All anybody was talking about.
Yeah, there's still a number.
Yeah.
I mean, no matter how big a draw is, there's still a number. If this guy got 100 million, this guy got 100 million, then you got to advertise it, promote it. You got to bring.
It's the guarantees that kill everything. If they were just getting percentages, then obviously everybody.
You're saying the seats were empty. I can understand it not making the money, but the seats being empty seems
peculiar.
Crazy. Yeah, and there's nothing in the world where you have a pay-per-view hit that didn't have a live audience hit. Like if your live audience is your first focus group, isn't sold out, you didn't do pay-per-view numbers.
Sure.
But boxing will still claim that to this day. They still, to this day, claim that that's number one. And if you want to be the biggest pay-per-view in boxing history, all you have to do...
That's a wrap for today's video. Stay tuned for more updates and stories from the world of boxing. Until next time, keep your gloves up and your eyes on the ring.